Iraq news highlights and points to ponder Monday AM November 18, 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Delete zeros and evaluate the dinar. Economic November 18, 2024. In a newspaper column a while ago, we explained the concept of deleting zeros. And today we are talking about the concept of currency revaluation, which means a calculated upward adjustment of a country's official exchange rate relative to a chosen baseline, which can include wage rates, the price of gold, or a specific foreign currency, and revaluation is the opposite of devaluation. In a fixed exchange rate system, the system followed by Iraq, only a decision from the state, the central bank, can change the official value of the currency. And developing economies are likely to use a fixed exchange rate system in order to limit speculation and provide a stable monetary system in the country. In a flexible exchange rate system, revaluation occurs on a regular basis, as evidenced by the noticeable fluctuations in the foreign exchange market and the associated exchange rates. For example, the United States maintained a fixed exchange rate until 1973, when President Richard Nixon decided to abandon the gold standard and switch to a flexible exchange rate system. As for China, despite having an advanced economy, its currency remained fixed until 1994, before the Chinese government revalued its currency in 2005, which was linked to the US dollar. After the revaluation, it was linked to a basket of global currencies. The decision to revalue a domestic currency affects the economy as a whole, as it affects both the currency being examined and the valuation of assets held by foreign companies in that particular currency. Since revaluation has the potential to change the exchange rate between two countries and their currencies, the book values of assets held abroad may have to be adjusted to reflect the effect of the change in the exchange rate. For example, suppose a foreign government has set 10 units of its currency to equal $1. To revalue its currency, the government might change the rate to 5 units per dollar, making its currency twice as expensive when valued in US dollars as it was before. If the above-mentioned currency revaluation occurs, any assets held by a U.S. corporation in the foreign economy must be revalued. If the value of the asset held in a foreign currency was previously valued at $100,000 based on the old exchange rate, the revaluation requires a change of $200,000. This change reflects the new value of the foreign asset in the local currency by adjusting the revaluation of the relevant currency. Another example is what the Iraqi government did in 2023 when it raised the value of the Iraqi dinar from 1450 dinars, dollar to 1300 dinars, dollar prices in Iraqi markets. Economy, the 18th of November 2024, 1111 views. Sumerian News. Economy publishes Sumerian News. Exchange rates. Dollar today, Monday, November 18, 2024, in the stock exchanges Baghdad, Basra and Erbil. Below is a list of prices. Baghdad. Selling price, 150,750. Buying price, 150,000. Erbil. Selling price, 150,800. Buying price, 150,150. Basra. Selling price, 150,500. Buying price, 149,750. Note that the price official from the central bank, it is 132,000 dinars for each $100 denomination. Iraq rejects COP29 proposal. We will not get rid of fossil fuels, as they are the basis of our economy. Energy Economy News. Baghdad. The head of the Parliamentary Health Committee, Majid Shankali, confirmed that Iraq rejects the idea of getting rid of fossil fuels, which was a prominent title at the COP29 climate conference, explaining that the Iraqi economy depends mainly on fossil fuels, pointing to Iraq's strong role in the conference, especially since it will chair the G7+ summit with China in the next session. Global voices and demands are rising to gradually eliminate fossil fuel operations and oil and gas projects in oil-producing countries, due to the pollution they cause, and replace them with alternative energy sources such as solar, wind, water, thermal. In a statement to the official agency, followed by Al-Iqtisad News, Shankali said, The participation of the parliamentary delegation in the COP29 conference came to follow up on the work of the negotiating delegation and keep pace with the latest developments in the conference, indicating that the climate conference focused on important issues, most notably the gradual elimination of fossil fuels, which is one of the main pillars of the Iraqi economy, which we completely reject. Shankali continued, there is a proposal from Azerbaijan to support developing countries by oil countries. But this proposal was rejected, because most of the oil-producing countries are themselves developing countries. He pointed out that, the active political presence of the President of the Republic, under-secretaries of ministries and executive bodies, in addition to the legislative support of the Iraqi parliament, strengthens Iraq's position in these conferences, especially since it will assume the presidency of the G7+ summit with China in the next session. A source reviews the factors that undermine the goals. What is behind the efforts to form the Central Gas Company? Policy, the 18th of November 2024. 909 views. Sumerian News. Politics and Oil source recorded several observations today, Monday, on the efforts to establish the Middle Gas Company, considering that establishing the company it is useless and his motives are to find a new outlet for positions. Documents I reviewed showed Sumerian News, Member Submission Committee Oil and Gas Parliamentary Haybat al-Halbusi requested Prime Minister last July. The Central Gas Company was established based on the 5th and 6th licensing rounds and what Anbar will witness in terms of developing exploratory areas amounting to 9 gas areas. In addition to another letter from the Minister of Oil, Hayan Abdul Ghani, which includes a study and recommendation to establish the Central Gas Company, similar to the Gas Company North and the Southern Gas, and is responsible for the exploration and development operations of the gas formations in Baghdad, Anbar, Diyala, Wasit, Karbala, Najaf, Babel, and Diwania. But source, the informed oil expert, who spoke to Sumerian News, refusing to reveal his identity for reasons related to his work, said, the mentioned number of exploration blocks is exaggerated and does not amount to 9 blocks in Anbar, but rather 1 block that was referred to a company that is not specialized in exploration and development. In fact, Anbar only includes the Akash field, which was referred to a fictitious company, he said. He considered source, managing a single field or a field with an exploration area does not require the establishment of a new company in the presence of the Central Oil Company. For several reasons, including technical reasons, as it is not possible to provide the necessary cadres to manage the company from Anbar Governorate. It is impossible for the cadres to move from north or south, to live in Anbar Governorate in the current situation, as evidenced by the fact that all the workers in the Akash field currently are from Anbar and are only recent graduates who do not have any technical experience. He added that the current volume of work does not rise to the level of establishing a formation larger than a department, in addition to financial reasons, as establishing a company requires establishing very many financial grades and providing very large financial allocations to cover salaries and allowances that we do not need at the present time in light of the financial crisis and job slack and the presence of the Central Oil Company, which is doing its duty to work without the need to expand job grades. In addition, there are administrative reasons. According to source, he pointed out that establishing a new company will increase the burden on the ministry in following up on work due to the dispersion of the source of information instead of concentrating it in one source. He considered that linking the establishment of the company similar to the organizational and administrative structure of the 2 gas companies south and the north, this is not possible, because the gas company south it receives associated gas produced from the Basra fields, all of which are located within one geographical area, as is the case for gas north, which receives gas from the Kirkuk fields, which are located in one geographical area. He added, as for the Central Oil fields, they are distributed across 8 governorates, and it is not possible in any way to link all of these fields due to the vast geographical areas in which they are located, noting that the scope of work of the 2 gas companies is north. The south is for processing and manufacturing associated gas to obtain secondary products such as liquid gas, sulfur, dry gas, etc., i.e. they are considered central processing stations. And they are not responsible for extracting gas, as it is the responsibility of extraction companies. He explained that, in the Central Oil, The gas is completely processed in the fields of Al-Adab, Badra, and Sharq. Baghdad. The Akash and Mansouriya projects also include treatment stations, meaning that treatment is carried out on site in each field and according to modern international specifications. So there is no additional untreated gas to be sent to a new company for treatment purposes. He considered that, what was stated in the letter of the Ministry of Oil, that the quantity to be invested by the company. The figure of 3,500 million cubic feet is a number that must be reviewed by the specialized departments in the ministry, as it is very far from the truth and it is impossible to have such numbers to be provided to this. The company knew, considering that what was mentioned above shows that there are no technical, financial, or administrative goals that require the establishment of a new gas company, but rather the goal is a political goal, perhaps for the purpose of exploiting positions and job grades, he said. Light decrease in dollar exchange rates in local markets. Monday, the 18th of November 2024, 10:56. Economic number of readings, 95. Baghdad, Nina. The dollar exchange rates recorded a slight decrease today, Monday, in the local markets in the capital, Baghdad, Basra and Erbil. The exchange rates today were as follows. $100 equals 150.750 dinars in Baghdad, $100 equals 150.800 dinars in Erbil, $100 equals 150.500 dinars in Basra. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.